Hi guys, Sam here from Back of the Net, the AFC Bournemouth podcast and YouTube channel. If you want to check out our content, we've got plenty of stuff on our channel, including a preview. There'll be a match day vlog and post-match reaction, as well as a second look around this game, which is a big one for AFC Bournemouth, because if you check out the form table in the Premier League of the last 6 games, we're just outside the relegation zone, so to speak, in 17th. Thankfully, Ipswich Town's form is worse, and it just feels like a must-win game for us. Of course, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not, but for what we want to achieve this season, I think it is. Bournemouth have struggled of late. It's been a fantastic season, do not get me wrong, but we're all looking up the table, hoping that we can get a European place. Which, look, pinch me. This is not an AFC. This is not a conversation that most AFC Bournemouth fans have, right? We know that we're a small club and we are kind of outperforming ourselves in a number of ways. But we've got a billionaire owner that's pumping money into the club. We're still on the good side of FFP, which is good. We're buying players on the cheap. We're selling them on, and we're in a really good place. Apart from our small stadium, but that's going to be changed soon as well. So don't worry about that. But we've been flirting with Europe all season, and under Andoni Iraola we found that we can reach new heights than we ever have before. Now, a lot of the media, just to go back a bit, a lot of the media were almost up in arms when Gary O'Neill was given the boot from AFC Bournemouth after keeping us up. And Iraola came in and he didn't start very well, but after a while things just started to click, and it was clear that the brand of football that he deploys on the pitch for our side can reap the rewards that we're all seeing. So in his first full season, we managed to beat our Premier League points record. We got 48 points. Our previous under Eddie Howe was 46. And then in our second season, this season, it's been nothing short of brilliant. It's been bums off seats type of stuff, really exciting, front foot football, fast, overlaps, underlaps, winning the ball in the first third or final third of the pitch, turning the ball over, getting shots away. It's a very intense style of football, and I think that intensity cost us dear in some ways in terms of personnel in January, where we had the transfer window open. We didn't have many players available, but we didn't really sign anyone, which was really surprising, because at one stage we only had 12 senior players for a Premier League match. That game was against Newcastle. We went up there and smashed them 4-1. Make it make sense. We've almost got a sort of siege mentality. And whilst we were in that lull in terms of player availability, we were outperforming and we were doing so well. I think adversity's always run through the fabric of the club. It's almost interwoven. Back in the 90s, where we had financial problems, putting in money in buckets, and then of course the -17 season where us and Luton were bottom of League Two, thinking that we're a goner, but thankfully things turned. So for us being in the Premier League and being an established Premier League club is one thing, but to now be flirting with Europe is another. But like I say, we were up against it at one point in time, but slowly but surely our players have started to come back. That's not necessarily been a good thing, though. It really hasn't, because our form recently has not been so good, and I'm kind of concerned that players are probably burnt out a little bit, and they're gonna be with this aggressive pressing style of football. I think we've made the most fouls in the Premier League. That's because we press so high, and players like Antoine Semenyo and others are starting to maybe pick up knocks and not be putting in the performances that previously gained them loads of plaudits on programmes like Match of the Day and Monday Night Football. There's been a bit of a malaise, and we've been lacklustre, and I think our FA Cup exit on Sunday to Manchester City, that 90 minutes was almost like a microcosm of the season. First 45, brilliant, impactful. We were so good. Didn't really give Man City a sniff. Yes, they missed a penalty and there were other missed opportunities, but we could have made it 2, even 3 ourselves. Came out the second half, and we were really, really poor. We didn't lay a glove on them. They scored 2. They won the game. I don't think we even got a shot on goal. And that sort of exemplifies the season as a whole. So we're now looking at this game against Ipswich and hoping that we can get the train back on the tracks, because we need to. yes, it may be an entitled thing to be suggesting Europe for little old Bournemouth, and we know that we're a small club, but we've been in and around that area all season in terms of how we are on the table. And I don't think it's wrong for Bournemouth fans to feel that. I really don't, because we've got some quality players that can do so much damage when they're on it. We just hope that they are on Wednesday night. I think Ipswich are gettable. The brand of football that you play is admirable. You remind me of Luton Town a fair bit last season, where they stuck to the footballing philosophies, but ultimately the quality in the Premier League pays. And you know you're playing teams that are playing this intense level every week, whereas this is relatively brand new for you this season. And I think Callum McKenna's been superb, and he's managed to produce some memories for you guys. Like, for instance, the win at Tottenham Hotspur will live long in the memory, I'm absolutely certain. But you need to win. You need to get a result tomorrow. You need to score a goal, for goodness sake. Your away form has been better than your home form, so we are slightly wary of what you might be able to do on Wednesday. But because you are 9 points adrift, I think the fact that you need to come out actually is a boon for us. I think it's been so hard when we've played the sort of low block teams this season. You've not been that. In the reverse fixture, without being that, you were absolutely superb and you dominated us. But for maybe the intensity levels of your own to just drop off and us to score those 2 late goals to get the points. For this one, I just feel as though we need to start hard and start fast against you. Cliver is a doubt for it, which is not ideal for us. But, you know, ultimately, I think we will get Europe this season, but it's going to take matches like this to make sure that happens. I've been so delighted, being a Cherries fan this season, and Andoni Iraola, he's the best asset that we can ever have. But on the pitch, we've got stars all around with Howson and Kirkes back, who weren't in the FA Cup due to suspension. That solidifies our defence with Zabani, the defensive rock there. I think Lewis Cook and Tyler Adams will probably start as the double pivot in midfield. Christie in the 10, and then Ouattara and Semenyo on either flank with Evan Nilsson up front. Where you might be able to gain a bit of traction is Kepa in goal. Recently maybe lost us a few points, giving away a couple of stupid penalties at Brighton and Spurs respectively. And whilst he saved Haaland's penalty in the FA Cup at the weekend, he may have been susceptible for Manchester City's winner in the end. So for a team that does so well on set pieces like Ipswich, that's where I would be putting all my eggs in that particular basket, flinging balls into the box and testing our keeper. That said, I think our defence should stand us in good stead, and attacking wise, when we're on it, we can really be on it. What am I predicting? Not too sure. It seems like there's always been goals for both sides in every match that we've played since like 1987. So I do fancy Ipswich to score. That's just based on the form alone. But I think we'll probably have enough. My prediction for this one is 3-1 to AFC Bournemouth. But I've got to say, Ipswich fans, you and your football club have been a breath of fresh air this season. I'm hoping, obviously, we get the win against you on Wednesday night. If you keep Callum McKenna, I do feel as though there's an opportunity to bounce straight back. But look, guys, really appreciate you having me on. Up the cherries, and safe travels to everyone who's coming down to Vitality.